good morning, doing a little vagal nerve stimulation, as it helps so much, and I think it could help many other people too. I think that's part of the reason people like to hear me sing, to be honest. It's not really me, it's nervous system regulation. So, share with my regulation. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bells, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. And then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got a Mercedes-Benz, she got a lot of pretty, pretty boys that she calls friends. And how they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, but some dance to forget. And so I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Mirrors on the ceiling and pink champagne on ice. And she said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chamber they gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. The last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find a passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man, we are programmed to receive. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Sorry for the lack of guitar solo. And now we will move on. That was a call to action, a mythic reflection, perhaps. And this is a straight-up elegy. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I'd deliver. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died. So bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so, Now do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm blues. I was a lonely teenage bronc and buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck, but I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. I started singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone. But that's not how it used to be. When the jester sang for the king and queen, in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned, no verdict was returned, and while Lennon read a book on Marx, the quartet practiced in the park, and we sang dirges in the dark the day the music died. And we were singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. The good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Helter-skelter in a summer swelter, the birds flew off to the fallout shelter. 8 miles high and falling fast, it landed foul on the grass. The players tried for a forward pass, but the jester on the sidelines in a cast. Now the halftime air was sweet perfume, and while the sergeants played a marching tune, we all got up to dance, but we never had the chance. Because, 'cause the players tried to take the field. The marching band refused to yield. Do you recall what was revealed the day the music died? We started singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Oh, and there we were all in one place, a generation lost in space, with no time left to start again. So come on, Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. Jack Flash sat on a candlestick, 'cause fire is the devil's only friend. Oh, and while I watched him on the stage, my hands were clenched in fists of rage. No angel born in hell could break that Satan spell. And while the flames climbed high into the night to light the sacrificial rite, I saw Satan laughing with delight the day the music died. And he was singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. I met a girl who sang the blues, and I asked her for some happy news, but she just smiled and turned away. I went down to the sacred store where I'd heard the music years before, but the man there said the music wouldn't play. And in the streets the children screamed, the lovers cried, and the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken, The church bells all were broken, and the three men I admire most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast. The day the music died, and they were singing, "Bye, bye, Miss American Pie." Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die." They were singing, "Bye, bye, Miss American Pie." Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die." And I realized this perhaps is a trinity of songs. Not as closely related, but I think you'll sense the narrative thread that ties them together. And I will close with this. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain, it still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. 'Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared, for no one dared disturb the sound of silence. "Fool," said I, "you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you, take my arms that I might reach you." But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they'd made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said, "The words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence." Good luck to you today, and I hope you have a wonderful day of peace and happiness and kindness. Have a good day.